What up, boys? Today we're talking about sleep because here's the deal. Not only did I used to go to bed late like a moron, but I would wake up early to an alarm just to go do blue collar work, wonder why I'm dragging ass, feeling like shit, low mood, low energy, and I just, didn't piece it together that the reality was I was not sleeping and I was not putting any effort to make that sleep better. So what I've done is put together all of the things that have helped me, my clients, fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, wake up more well-rested and ready to attack the day. I'm just going to get right into the good stuff, guys. Let's go.
All right, so unfucking your sleep, right? For many of us, we go all day. And when it comes time to unwind and fall asleep, it's more like a nightmare, right? So I want to cover a couple quick things to ensure that you start waking up well-rested, ready to go to work, and probably pitching a tent. So let's get to it. Caffeine cutoff, okay? Look, I abuse caffeine just as much as the next guy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to cut out caffeine. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to reduce caffeine because I don't give a shit. I think it's one of the most powerful cognitive enhancements that there are. And if it's going to allow you to get more done and you're using caffeine to ensure more productivity, then go ahead and keep doing it. But just understand how caffeine works so that you can optimize it and make sure that you're timing it correctly. Right, so caffeine blocks adenosine, the chemical that makes you feel tired, so your brain stays alert even as fatigue builds. Half-life is 5 to 7 hours, roughly. That means that afternoon caffeine is not as harmless as you might think. So the best thing you could do is cut off caffeine to the point where it will entirely be cleared from your system by the time it's time to go to bed. However, we can kind of meet in the middle here and just be smart about what we're doing when it comes to caffeine consumption. So as I mentioned here, even an innocent 100 milligrams of caffeine consumed at 4 p.m. will still have a little bit of effect at 9 p.m., right? Because the half-life is 5 to 7 hours. So 50 milligrams roughly of that caffeine is still in your system, let alone if you have even more caffeine than that late at night. You have an espresso at night or whatever it might be. Everybody's different, especially like Italians. You're going to have coffee all day, every day. You're going to have a coffee after dinner. You're going to have one like fucking as you go to bed, right? It is what it is. But the reality is, the science of it at least, says that your sleep quality, even if you fall asleep, will be diminished to some degree if you're having caffeine late at night. So caffeine cutoff is one thing. Take a second, think about your current caffeine consumption, and think about whether or not it truly is an issue or not when it comes to sleep quality. Another thing, blocking the blue light. So it's probably in the thumbnail of this post, but I wear the red tinted glasses at night to block blue light. To be honest, I like them. I don't mind them, but I know a lot of people think they're funny looking, and I totally get it. But no, in all seriousness, the blue light blockers, they're not expensive. They seem to help, and why not if it's going to mean better sleep and you wake up, again, feeling well rested, looking better, feeling better. So in all seriousness, blue light is essentially interpreted by your brain as daytime, to make things simple here. So it can interfere with melatonin production, right? I'm often on my screen late at night, whether it's work, whether I'm doing things like this, recording a video, whatever it might be, or I'm doom scrolling, right? Everyone's guilty of this from time to time, I'm sure. So I'll throw on the blue light blockers, so at least I'm not getting the effect of the blue light. Although it'll be even better to just turn my phone off and throw it in the other room or put it on airplane mode if you really want to optimize your sleep. You don't want to have all of the distraction at night either. But here's another big one, all right? Most studies show more than half of the U.S. population is not getting enough magnesium through their diet. Magnesium calms your nervous system, right? So if you're deficient in magnesium, you're not going to be calm when it comes time to go to bed. You're more wired at night, more restless, your sleep is lighter, and you're waking up more frequently. So if you're the type of guy that doesn't have an issue falling asleep, late night meals don't affect you, caffeine doesn't affect you, and you're still falling asleep, this is probably the reason that you're waking up in the middle of the night frequently and kind of still feeling wired a bit. So here's the thing. What can we do? One, make sure that we're taking about 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate per day, preferably about an hour before bed. If you still can't fall asleep, in my opinion, it's not going to be the end of the world if you use melatonin occasionally. But most supplements, number one, are overdosed. Number two, don't forget that melatonin can be habit forming, right? All of a sudden, you rely on it in order to fall asleep. And on top of that, you're eventually going to downregulate that receptor, right? So that means the more frequently that you use melatonin, the more that you're sort of numbed to it and need even more of it to get the same effect, which is not a good thing. It's a slippery slope. So if you're going to use melatonin, use it very sparingly. Use it, for schedule resets, travel, things like that. Maybe you're in a different time zone. Maybe you work a night shift once or twice a week, right? Use it in events like that rather than just using it every single night to fall asleep for no reason. You got to be able to justify it, and you can't rely on it nightly. Another thing is control your core temperature. So your body needs to drop core temperature to fall asleep better, more effectively. So a cooler room, 65 to 68 degrees, ideally, makes it way easier to knock out. A hot shower before bed also helps because you then get a rebound effect after the fact. So obviously, hot shower, but then when your body starts to try to cool itself off because it just experienced all of that hot water, that is when you're going to get that rebound effect where your core temperature starts to drop. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with the last thing that I want to cover, which is stop eating big before bed, right? So as I mentioned, lowering core temperature is beneficial for sleep, and attempting to digest a large meal before bed is certainly going to raise your core temperature. I'm guilty of this, right? There's nights where I'm fasting throughout the day, then I'm working, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I have a late meal, but then when you go to bed, you feel hot, you feel sweaty, right? Harder to fall asleep. You wake up the next day, you don't feel very well rested. So understand that that's because your body prioritizes digestion, recovery, and sleep quality will take a hit even if you knock the fuck right out after you eat, right? And honestly, if you're a binge eater, I struggle with it. If I'm going to binge eat, it's probably going to be at the end of the night, right? Because there's no way I'm going to be binging on anything during the day because that's going to affect my productivity. So I've been at least decent enough to make sure I'm not doing it at times where it's going to affect my work. But some nights, we let it fly. That will affect your sleep quality. It is not optimal. You will end up over your calorie goal, losing sleep, foggy the next day. Not good. All right. So when it comes to sleep, I'm going to keep this short and simple. I'm pretty sure that's all I got for you guys here. Yes. So the last thing I want to mention then, guys, is of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know if there's any other topics that you would like to cover. Otherwise, you guys can also find me on Instagram, but that's all I got for you guys today. If you want to learn more about exactly how I've optimized my sleep routine to ensure that I'm consistently getting high sleep scores, 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, and how my clients have done the same thing and escaped the seemingly endless cycle of waking up in the middle of the night, having trouble falling asleep, waking up tired, and all the other issues that come with it, then you guys could always hit the booking link down below to book your call for one-on-one coaching to see if you qualify. Otherwise, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.